Hey guys, Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is new comic book day for the week of July 28th, and we're going to get started right now. If you guys like what you're seeing, don't forget to subscribe down below. If you really like what you're seeing, YouTube just rolled out a new thing where over here, I think if I'm pointing in the right direction, if not, it's over there. But at the bottom there, you're going to see a super thanks, where you can actually tip and give us money. You don't have to. Like, I'm not telling you to give us money. I'm just pointing that it's there, just in case you want to buy Tim a coffee.
I like coffee.
He does like coffee.
A lot.
He likes coffee a lot. I always bring him a coffee. But if you want to buy him a coffee, it's right there. Boom. $2, $5, $10, $50.
$50 a coffee?
I mean, look, if they really want coffee, they can give you that. But yeah,
He's a monster without coffee.
he is a monster without coffee. There was one time I didn't give him coffee, and I had to leave. I literally had to leave and go buy him coffee.
That was a good time.
It was a good time for you, because then you got a break from me. But like, I still had to go get you coffee.
Because you're a good guy.
So yeah, if you really love us, obviously you guys don't have to, but if you do, it's there. There's another shipping mistake this week, unfortunately, so that means we only have DC Comics. However, what we're going to do is we're going to review an issue from last week that you might have missed. That was probably going to end up being our pick of the week, and hopefully next week things will be back to normal.
All right, guys, we're going to do our reviews. Sorry, everything didn't work out again. The shipping has been bonkers as of late. I have a trade. It's I'm Not Starfire. It's a young adult graphic novel focusing on Starfire and her daughter, apparently. I'm not super familiar with that. I don't know when they did that. I don't know if this is like an Elseworlds kind of thing, but it looks pretty interesting. I don't know. I like these young adult and some of the young reader stuff that they've been doing. I think it's cool to make, characters you might not be as familiar with more accessible. If you didn't watch that cartoon, you might not be as familiar with Starfire.
First up, we have Batman Secret Files Huntress issue number 1, or Detective Comics issue 1040.1. It's kind of like the Marvel thing that they're doing. Their Secret Files are like, no, this is not actually just a side story that we could have put in the main series. We're going to do that. This literally takes place after the effects of, I think it's Detective Comics 1039, and the story will take place in Detective Comics 1041. So this is going to be in between these next 2 weeks that are coming up with this book. Well, basically what has happened is Huntress was attacked by Hugh Vile and was attacked by a parasite. And Batman got rid of that parasite, but for some reason she can still see other victims that were affected by that parasite and have to kind of go through stopping some of those victims as they try to kill people in Gotham. It was an interesting enough story. I have an issue with the Secret Files thing in the Marvel .1 issues when just put it as part of the book. Like, this probably would have sold just as well if it was Detective Comics 1040, and then just move the stuff into 1042. But they decided not to. It's up to you if you want to grab it. If you're reading the Detective Comics, obviously this will give you a reason to pick up this book. If not, if you weren't planning, this is not even really a one-off because the story begins in another comic book and ends in that comic book. So it's only if you really care about the detective series. Otherwise, you can skip it.
All right, first up, we have Static Shock, issue 2. Continuing on with this book, it ended pretty good. The last time you had Virgil having a fight with Hotstreak, I think his name is. But yeah, there's another youngin who was at the riot that happened, ended up getting powers when he got gassed. And you have the continuation of that fight, as well as once that is resolved, you kind of have everybody kind of just telling him what to do, and he doesn't want to hear it, and I don't blame him. It's a lot to take in. But then he has to make a decision. Who does he talk to? Who does he not talk to? Who does he avoid? Who is going to put him in danger, and who actually has his best interests at heart? And this is a real, it's a setup issue, I think, because a lot of things have to happen. They're setting up some good and some bad. What did the police think? What does the army think? The army is always involved, right? I feel like that's like a constant thing in all of these stories, as it would be in real life if somebody had powers. Just a really cool story, and it's still pretty solid now. And if you're enjoying all the milestone stuff, definitely keep going with this one. We'll see where it goes. I'd say another 2 or 3 issues, I should know if I'm completely in.
All right, this very likely could have been, and probably was going to be my pick of the week last week. It is Siphon issue number 1. The basic concept of this book is there are people that are born with a power to pull people's negative emotions out of them and kind of calm them and let them be who they are. And at the very beginning of the story, you have this one character, and that character is killed, and that power moves on, kind of like a Green Lantern ring. Think of that. think of that that sense, and it finds a new host, and he kind of goes on doing things, and then you will find out that this power is connected to something much larger, and someone wants it back. And that's going to be the premise of this story moving forward. The art is amazing. It's just absolutely beautiful artwork. The story is really compelling right off the bat. Literally, like, second page, you're into this storyline. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I think it's only like a 3-issue. It's only like a 3-issue mini. It's a short story. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But you should definitely grab it. If you didn't have a chance to grab it, definitely grab it. It did sell out a lot of different places. That's kind of the thing with a lot of Image titles. They do that. Issue number 1 tends to sell out pretty quick because of speculators. But I mean, if you do have a chance to find this, definitely grab it.
All right, next up is my pick from last week. It's not Moon Knight because that's sold out. But I also really enjoyed Bermuda. This is a pretty cool book from IDW. It's about a very rich kid whose father has a new island or something to show him, and him and his sister are on a private jet with a security guard, the whole 9, and they end up having a freak storm take them down, and they end up on what I assume is the Bermuda Triangle, and they find Bermuda. That's Bermuda. And she is going to help him survive, because there's mer people on this island and a lot of cool creatures. You see some giant iguanas, and just it seems really cool. You get your basic island life, but some of it's a little twisted, and it seems pretty enjoyable. This has like an 80s feel to it in the sense of like there's this big adventure we got to go through. There's different places on the island. They have a cool map on the back once you get through it. Just real fun. You know, you're on an isolated island, but there's a lot of world building going on, and it's cool. I love the design of the mermen, and there's some great variant covers. Dan Panosian does a really good one on this one. So yeah, guys, Bermuda, if you didn't get it last week, I think it's worth picking up now.
What is my pick of the week? It is Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 1. This is a really good story. Really good story. The art is amazing in this book. Just breathtaking. And if you've been a fan of Superman or anything like that, there are some people that have been drawing that book that have not been awesome. You don't have that here. The art is John Timms. Tom Taylor is writing, and I've been a fan of Tom Taylor since the Deceased series, and this is no different, man. It is a beautiful book, basically setting up John's place in this world, whether he's going to be similar to his father or something else. I really love the humanizing parts that happened with Superman in this book, as you're kind of learning where he came from, and then like I said, where John really wants to be. And I love the banter between, I've always loved the banter between himself and Damian as they get along in other books and everything like that, and it continues on with this book. This has been a lot of fun. I mean, I love the cover, because you get that classic Superman issue number 1 kind of look to it. But it really does set up a great story moving forward, and I really want to see where this goes. So you should grab it.
All right, my pick of the week. It's a DC book. You better believe it. It's got to be. Now, this book's pretty great. It's Icon and Rocket, another milestone book, issue 1. And I enjoyed this a lot. I remember the characters from back in the day, and Icon, more importantly, I remembered he was a very Superman-style character. But I don't remember their origins very well, and I really enjoyed what I got in here. You get a lot of background on them, and it's just really cool, especially when you consider Icon's origin, that he is an alien who comes to Earth. It's very, parallel to Superman, except it has some differences. And he's like Superman and Martian Manhunter kind of combined, because he shapeshifts into the life form that touches the capsule when he is found, which it's, all this alien technology, but it's back in the day. It's a black couple, and it is dealing with, slavery and things of that era. So it's very interesting to think of that technology combined with that era of late 1800s, early 1900s. And the story's cool. I enjoyed it a bunch. I enjoyed the way they interact with each other, because essentially it's a fairly old man. He ages differently, but he's been around for a while. And, a young girl who's just kind of making some mistakes, and she's trying to adjust her life for the better. And it's just a very simple kind of concept, but it doesn't need to be any more complicated. It's like, hey, this is what's right. Can I convince you to do it? Let's try and actually help the world. And I think this is a very good introduction to these characters. If you weren't around for the original run of Milestone, this will give you everything you need, and I think you'll enjoy it. So check out this book, and I think you'll know pretty early on if you're in or not. I enjoyed it. I definitely would be willing to read more of this. Alright guys, thank you for checking out the videos. Thank you for being supportive this week and last week, and just, I don't know what's up with the shipping, but it's been a problem. It wasn't just our store. There's been a lot of shipping issues. So, the book should be here on time tomorrow, hopefully. But, you gotta do what you gotta do, and I thank everybody for being supportive. Hey, DC, good for you, right? You got a bunch of DC books. We try to give you a variety. We don't go too heavy on any one company. So, DC's the real winner here. And that's it. So enjoy it. I hope this was palatable, because I know not everybody's all in on DC. And yeah, I'm done rambling.